Welcome everyone to lecture 2 of the sedimentology series. In this we are going to discuss about gravel and conglomerate. In the lecture 1 we had an introduction to the class size which make the gravel and conglomerate, and it was greater than 2 mm. So now we have classed over 2 mm in diameter, further divided into granules, pebbles, cobbles and boulders. So here we can see that 2 mm to 4 mm form the granule, 4 mm to 64 form the pebble, 64 to 256 form the cobble, and greater than 256 form the boulder. Now, further, we should know that if most of the clasts are between 64 mm to 256 mm, then the rock would be called as a cobble conglomerate. Similarly, अगर 4 mm से 64 mm के class ज़्यादा है, so it will be a pebble conglomerate. 64 to 256 are cobble, 2 mm से 4 mm to granule, and further greater than 256 boulder. Now, the noun rudite and the adjective rudaceous are used synonymous with the conglomerate and conglomeratic. We should know this. Many times we are asked about rudaceous sedimentary rock, so we should know that rudaceous का मतलब conglomerate के बारे में बात की जा रही है. Next we have rock which is named as breccia. Breccia or conglomerate में only difference is that breccia is made up of clasts which are angular in shape. Here we can see the angular shape of the clast in breccia, whereas in conglomerate these are rounded in shape. Now if there is a mixture of rounded and angular clast, then the term breccia conglomerate will be used. Next, composition of gravel and conglomerate. Basically इसमें we are talking about the material that conglomerate is made up of. If it is made up of material, the same material, clasts are of the same material, that is एक ही material, granite के सारे clasts हैं, then conglomerate will be known as monomixed conglomerate. अगर clast बहुत सारे different lithologies के हैं, then conglomerate will be called as polymixed conglomerate. अगर सिर्फ 2 या 3 types की clast है, then conglomerate will be considered as oligomixed conglomerate. Now, almost any lithology may be present as classed in gravel and conglomerate, but majorly resistant lithologies जो कि होंगी, जो less susceptible होंगी physical या chemical breakdown से, उनके higher chances होते हैं to be preserved as classed in conglomerate. Texture of conglomerate. Between granules and pebbles, cobbles, we can find mud and sand to be present. This fine material is known as the matrix of the deposit. Here we can see that in between these clasts there is finer material present. This may either be mud or sand depending on the size of grain size of the matrix. So if there is a proportion of 20% of matrix in the rock, then it will be termed as sandy conglomerate or muddy conglomerate. Sand या mud will depend on the grain size again. Now एक और term use होती है, that is intraformational conglomerate. Intraformational conglomerate is composed of clasts which have the same material as the matrix. अगर हमारे पास class granite के हैं और matrix भी granite का बन गया, तो we have intraformational conglomerate. Okay, this is the term which is used for that. Here we can see what forms the gravel conglomerate, what forms the mud rock, what forms the sandstone, muddy sandstone, sandy mud rock, then sandy conglomerate, and all these. This is completely dependent on the percent of mud, gravel, and sand which is present in that rock. Next, we have the class supported and the matrix supported conglomerate. So, in class supported, basically we'll see clasts are touching each other throughout the rock. But अगर matrix supported है, तो clast will be completely surrounded by matrix. Fine particles हम देख सकते हैं clast को पूरा completely surround कर रहे हैं. Now class supported के लिए दूसरी term है, that is orthoconglomerate, and matrix supported के लिए दूसरी term है paraconglomerate. Next we have shape of class. Now shape will be determined by the fracture properties of the bedrock. Bedrock अगर bedrock पे अच्छे खासे fracture planes है, तो it will give out clasts which are different in shape than the one which doesn't have. So rock with equally spaced fracture planes in all directions, they will form the cubic or equine blocks. These will be the blocks, and when its edges are rounded off, then it will form the spherical clast. When the edges are rounded off, it forms the spherical clast. Bedrock lithologies that break up into slabs such as well-bladed limestone or sandstone form the clast which have one axis shorter than the other two. And we can see in oblate and discoid forms. Then we have rod-shaped or prolate clast which are less common but form mainly from metamorphic rock which have strong linear fabric. Linear fabric अच्छा होगा तो rod shape या prolate clast will come out. Then we have imbrication. Now here we can see the discoid clast. Okay, discoid or oblate clast. Now when discoid clast are moved in a flow of water, they preferentially get oriented and stack up to form the imbrication. Here we can see this is the flow direction of the water. जिस direction में पानी जा रहा है, these clasts have moved in that direction. So this whole form is known as the imbrication. Here one important line is कि ये जो क्लास पानी से फ्लो ऑफ वाटर से डिपॉजिट हो रहे हैं उनकी जो लॉन्गर एक्सिस होंगी they will be oriented perpendicular to the flow. Okay, while in glacially deposited clast the long axis will be parallel to the ice flow. This might be asked in a question, so I want you to make sure that you remember this. Flow of water, if clasts are deposited by a flow of water, they tend to have long axis oriented perpendicular to flow, and glacially deposit में they will have long axis parallel to the ice flow. Thank you for this watching this lecture. In lecture 3 we will be talking about sand and sandstone.